Alright guys, welcome back. GM Light here, and today we're going to be talking about kind of a follow-up on a story that I've covered before. Basically the conclusion to the Winnie the Pooh versus Cody Leach kind of drama, or whatever you want to call it. Usually I don't cover things like this. I wouldn't classify it as internet drama. I think it kind of transcends that because it's about a movie studio versus a reviewer. It just feels like a little bit more than that. And when I talked about it, I kind of used it to extrapolate some of the discourse surrounding critics versus filmmakers. But we actually got a really positive update with this because they actually resolved it. Crazy to think, but both parties involved, Jagged Edge Productions and Cody Leach, actually were able to kind of squash the beef, figure things out, hash it out, put aside their differences, and I love to see it. If you don't remember from last year, basically Cody Leach gave Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey a bad review. This kind of triggered a reaction from Jagged Edge Studios. They reacted and it kind of turned into a big thing. There were even a few articles actually about it, talking about this whole thing because it sort of blew up. I'm a big fan of Cody Leach. I've been following him for years. He's one of the main reasons that I actually do this. And you know, it's tough because when things like this happen, you have the tendency to want to fall into your tribal camp. It's kind of easy to side with the party you're favorable towards already, and this is kind of just what happened. People picked their sides. I kind of sided with Cody, and I've been critical of Jagged Edge Studios because of their handling of this situation. I actually wasn't nearly as hard on Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey as a lot of other people. I'd say I kind of gave it a more skewing positive review. Didn't say I'd recommend it to anybody, but I said if you like schlocky horror movies, I think that there is a place for this movie, which I still contend. But ultimately, when filmmakers are going out in an endeavor like this, they're on a low budget and stuff, I give it kind of a grading curve, but I also do want to see them succeed. I want to see these guys do well. I want to see this poohniverse kind of work out, and I hope that it is fun, that it delivers fun for the audience, and that this is something that can get a cult following potentially if it's good. And looking at the quality difference between 2 and 1, I think it's fair to say that they have upped their game. Seems like they are trying, and I'm happy to see that, and I'm gonna see Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 next week. Getting back to this whole thing though, today I was surprised to see that Cody Leach put out the following statement. Life loves to throw curveballs. I sat down with a few of the gentlemen who brought us Blood and Honey and had a genuine heart-to-heart about all the drama and animosity that came from our unfortunate interaction last year. Sorted it all out and walked away on really good terms. I'll likely do a video detailing our conversation to make sure the issue is as publicly quashed as possible. My thoughts on their film aside, they seem like genuinely good dudes who took my review more personally than I ever intended, and emotions on both sides took over. Having a life and career on social media can lead to a lot of craziness and unneeded drama. Hopefully all of us shaking hands will, if nothing else, show that we're all humans behind these videos and tweets. And that's just so damn wholesome. Both Jagged Edge and the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey account on Twitter both put out a statement. Just had an absolute bro fest on Zoom with Cody Leach, and I have to admit, he's very handsome, like me. We're so glad we had the chance to meet, talk with Cody, and work through everything that's been building for over a year now. Cody's a talented, driven person. We respect how hard he's worked to build his incredible audience. Felt great to sit face to face, apologize, and put this all behind us. I think we even spent more on tangents and other topics than we've spent talking about the tweets and reviews, because that's what happens when people step away from the keyboard and talk. There's more that connects us than divides us, and that was on full display today. Social media can be such a mindfuck. It's important to remember we're all human. We're half human / bear. Thank you for the kind and joyful conversation, Cody. We appreciate your willingness to meet. Okay, that's enough sentimental stuff for this silly old bear. Back to slashing. And it just shows so much maturity on both sides that they were able to kind of reevaluate what happened, take a step back, look at what's been going on, see where things went wrong, where tempers flared, and then led to what really is just kind of unfortunate misunderstandings, things getting blown out of proportions, and just misinterpretations of intentions, I think. And I really do have to commend the Blood and Honey crew for humbling themselves. They really have seemed to be humbling themselves over the course of the last year. And something that I mentioned in my example from last year I was kind of frustrated with was it almost felt like in the initial interaction, my interpretation of it was that the studio was kind of lashing out on people, that they were, blaming them for not enjoying the movie. And what I used to contrast that was Sam Raimi's reaction to the Spider-Man 3 backlash. When Sam Raimi saw the reactions to Spider-Man 3, he was very humble. He took blame, he took responsibility, he even blamed himself a little bit too much. I think he was too hard on himself. I think that these guys did the work to kind of evaluate what went wrong the first time. And this is coming from someone who actually kind of enjoyed it. They're repairing relationships, they're trying to do better work, and they seem genuinely passionate about what they do. And if nothing else, you have to respect that. On the other side of this beef, the thing that I love about Cody Leach as a reviewer is he is very honest. He has a lot of integrity. And that's what's made me gravitate towards him over these years. That's what has kind of made me fall a little bit out of love with Chris Stuckman. I feel like Cody would rather preserve his integrity and be honest with you than shy away from his criticism, even if it's with someone who he has a relationship with. Because I think that he's had to be honest in tough situations with people that he's interacted with, knows. He's had to give bad reviews to movies, people that he's had pleasant interactions with, and that can't be easy. And when you have someone who's such a strong personality like Cody Leach, he gives a negative review, it can come off as hurtful. And I understand why they felt hurt by this. Whether they handled it the right way or not, I'm sure that's something that they discussed. I'm sure that is something that's going to be discussed when they release the video tomorrow and we actually get to see what happened. That's just not really for me to tell. But as far as things going, I've been actually looking forward to Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and I mentioned this in my trailer reaction. I was a little bit frustrated with the way that they acted last year, but this is something that is a really good look on everybody involved, Cody included. I think that it shows that these things can be resolved, and in a lot of cases, it's the healthy thing to do. My reaction to this actually caused Pro Productions, another low-budget British independent, I think, film studio, to come after me in the comments. We had a pretty heated exchange where basically they said that, you know, I was out of line with what I said. Cody was the problem in that situation. It kind of fell into that tribal thing. I was defending Cody. They were defending Jagged Edge. I assume because they're also a British low-budget film studio. But things like this give me faith that we can come together, that what you see on the internet isn't what's going on in real life. Because 9 times out of 10, it's the way that someone will talk to you on the internet. If it's negative, they wouldn't do in real life. This isn't real life. And sometimes we gotta remember that the internet isn't real life. But I wanted to make a video about this because this was an exchange that I just really appreciated. I'm coming out of it with a lot more respect for both Cody and Jagged Edge Productions. Makes me more excited, open to seeing what goes on with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. And just overall, it's such a wholesome story that it gives me more faith in humanity. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this story. I'm GM Light. Have a good one.